Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I have pulled a recipe from this is our plant-based pack that I pulled this one from. It's the tofu fajita bowls, or just like the tofu fajitas. I'm gonna probably make quinoa. I also have some salad that I have to get rid of before the end of the day, so I might throw it on top of that tonight and do like a little fajita salad. But yeah, so that is located, if you are in our Nexus app, it's located in the files. If you go to files, there is a new recipe pack every month. April's plant-based pack and then April's meal plans are all gonna be in there. So they're two separate files. I've been dabbling with both here and there. Oh, and we're gonna start cooking first because this is gonna take a little bit, but then I'll dabble into a little of what's been going on with me and my diet changes. Give you guys a little bit of, I guess it's a little bit of humble pie for me and what I've been going through with my diet changes. But if you hear any crinkling in the back, it's because my kitten is trying to ship herself away. She's in one of them. There she is. Okay, like I said, tofu fajitas. So I did a lot of this off camera just because I didn't want you guys to watch me cut, and I have a hard time talking and cutting at the same time. So I just cut up your basic fajita veggies. So I got some peppers, onions, I put garlic in here. I also squeezed some lime on here just because I also have some limes that gotta go. So get rid of some of them too. Then getting a little into my new dieting journey. I'm trying to avoid eating a lot of processed stuff. Also trying to avoid eating a lot of like soy-based things. So, you know, tofu's not really great for that, but I did just find, I actually kept the wrapper so I can show you. I just found soy-free tofu, and it's actually made with fava beans. So this is what the box looks like. It has 16 grams of protein for a quarter of it. So it's a lot, and I'll show you what it looks like. And it's just fava beans, water, sea salt. That's it. Perfect. If you're into tofu. A lot of people don't like tofu. I am always down to find a way to make it taste better. I like it as a scramble, but trying to get it like baked like you get at restaurants where they like fry it and stuff and it's like perfectly crisp. Haven't been able to do that. Oh, here, let me show you what this thing looks like. Now I got it out. It's just like a little smaller. But yeah, so a quarter of that. So half of this has 16 grams of protein in it. Pretty nice. So I'm just gonna cube this up and add it to that and then add my seasoning and some olive oil. This also, it's another thing I wanted to show you. This is my, I don't have a lot of kitchen tools because I haven't been eating meat for the last 8 years. But I do have a tofu press, which took me 2 years to find, but I did find one. And that's what I use to get all the moisture out of the tofu so that I can get it into a firm block. This already came firm, but I still just try to squeeze some of the moisture out because there's a lot of liquid in the package. But yeah, these already came firm, so it's pretty easy to cut through. But when I was eating the soy, I wanted it this firm in hopes to get that texture, which I think I'm gonna get that texture from this one just by baking it with all these seasonings. Can't really see me cutting off camera, but that's okay. How y'all been? What y'all doing? Happy April. Any new and exciting fun news? Has anybody tried any of the recipes in this new pack yet? There's also, let me just give you a teaser of that. There's a protein cookie on there. I can't tell you how hard it was for me to fight the desire to make that. Mainly just because I'm trying to stay away from sweets to see if I can curb my desire for the treats. We're going a little savory today. Something else I wanted to make that's also in our recipe pack, it's in the regular recipe pack because it's got eggs in it, is the egg muffin bites. So again, new fitness journey, I've been trying to add some different proteins. I get eggs from chickens that I know, and I've been just boiling them, hard boiling them. But recently, I, after 8 years of being vegan, have added some meat to my diet, tried some different meats, and again, have been eating some eggs. And so my stomach has been adjusting to that in some strange ways, a lot of which just being the fact that my stomach biome hasn't had to deal with the meats for a while. So with that being said, I've been eliminating some stuff from my diet and then adding it back in just to try to see like what's causing inflammation, what's making me feel bloated. A lot of it is, like I said, some processed stuff, some soy stuff. So I've been making these different choices, but I want to be able to, you know, meet my goals, hit my calories and my macros, and not feel guilty about it. Again, we'll get into that once I toss this in the oven because it's going to be in there for 15 minutes. And I think I might just go ahead and make those egg bites while we're chatting, because how hard can it be, right? That's what this is about, easy peasy. So I tossed all of my veggies in the olive oil and lemon juice, and then I just tossed the cubed tofu on top. Now I'm adding a seasoning. It calls for like a fajita packet, but I also like, you can make your own fajita seasoning if you have enough seasonings in your cabinet. So I made that, and if I need more I can just add more, but I'm gonna drizzle it on top and see if it's enough. I think this is more than enough. Okay, cool. I was trying to get like a packet in there. All right, and then I just washed my hands, so I'm just gonna dig in and mix this all up again. Careful not to stab the tofu with my claws. All right. Now that, oh my God, this looks so good. Now it's all mixed. Wash this off my hands again. Show you what it looks like real quick. Okay. Beautiful. All right. All right. I have my oven preheated to 350. This is gonna sit in there for 15 minutes. I'm gonna grab some stuff to make the egg stuff, and then, like I said, get into a little bit of some diet culture things. Oh, okay, so like I was saying, I've been a vegan for 8 years. Loved it. Y'all have seen me cook tons of plant-based meals on here. Recently, I have been getting some pretty bad, I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest with you, menstrual pains. That made me go to the hospital to get some more information. Went to my lady doctor because they know best. And, you know, once she told me kind of what was going on, hormonal imbalances, things of that nature, she just basically looked at me and said, you know, you're a nutrition coach. If your client said this to you, how would you solve the problem? And I made a nutrition plan for myself, which involves more than just plant-based meals. I started slowly and started doing fish and cheeses, but you know, cheese is different than, well, in some areas, the dairy. Either way, there is like a moral thing to it all. But kidding. But I wanted to try and eat meat, and I wanted to find like ethical ways in which I could get meat so that I didn't feel so guilty about it. I wanted to fix my relationship with food. I think I got on here a couple weeks ago and talked about kind of how diet culture in general and like labeling diets kind of makes you pull back from eating things and really messes with your relationship with food, regardless of if you're just keto or paleo or all these things. Like, you're restricting yourself from things that you could be eating if you ate a balanced diet. And that goes for vegan, vegetarian also. Not to say that there's not more beyond just like restricting yourself. Like, obviously, again, there's some moral things to it. I know people will say there's no ethical way to kill an animal and to, you know, consume this, but I have found ways. I have, don't know if a lot of you know this, but I do work for a humane society in my county. I have been recently licensed for euthanasia, in which, you know, I have to take the lives of some animals. And I take a lot of pride in being the person who can be there for some of these animals, because I know that I do care. I care a lot. And with that being said, I want to be able to provide that kind of service eventually in the future in home for people, people with pets that are just getting older that can't afford to take them to a hospital and do the euthanasia, or in terms of like livestock, things like that, to help people who want to, you know, humanely give their pets peace, essentially. But within taking that class and within, you know, experiencing some more of that within my work, because it's just kind of the culture of rescue. In today's day and age, it's unfortunate, but that's just where we're at with how many animals we have in the world that do not have any means of like an outcome for quality of life. Anyway, with all that being said, it's definitely changed my perspective a lot on what I'm comfortable with in terms of even euthanizing the animals that we eat. Well, I can put it that way, because there's ways to euthanize animals that are just absolutely cruel, absolutely cruel. There are ways to do it where they feel no pain, and there's ways where people are doing it who actually care and are trying to provide like a comforting space for people. So like, again, I get there's always going to be like some kind of backlash for people who are vegan and then go and start eating meat, but you know, say what you want. At the end of the day, I know how I feel about it. That's a very important thing. I know how I feel about it. I want to work on my relationship with food. I want to fix my health and nutrition. And I have other physical goals that I haven't been able to meet. I know there's ways to hit high protein. I train people for it. I train myself to hit this high protein. But there really is... like, it's hard. There's easier ways to get it, is like bottom line what it comes down to. Long story short, my wonderful boyfriend took me to a butcher and asked this man like 100 questions, like how many cows, or yeah, how many acres per cow on your property, and how do you euthanize them, and all these things, so that I felt comfortable and just kind of learned more. And then we grilled steak in the backyard, and I had steak for the first time. We jokingly, because it's in correlation with my menstrual pains, I've been calling it my period steaks, but gradually, like a little bit after that, I ended up going to Tampa to visit Coach Brenna, and I ate pork chops that her husband made, which were really good. Oh no, I think they were ribs, pork ribs. Still really good. So it's been really cool. I don't feel like I've been missing out, but like now I feel like I can be more a part of a lot of these things, which I was so grateful and it's super thoughtful that people were willing to make me vegan meals, like, and go plant-based for me. That's another thing where like I feel like I'll get some pushback on that for like all my family who's been trying to get me to eat meat, or like, again, purposely making me vegan meals so I can be a part of everything. So I appreciate for that. It's been really awesome to have that support. And I also now see a lot of that support coming on the other end. But anytime somebody does, you know, say like, oh, I guess you don't care, whatever comments, you know, people have things to say. Again, I'm very confident and comfortable in how I feel about it and how ethically I'm going about getting my proteins. And I'm hoping now I can get big fat juicy arms, and meal prepping might be a little easier because I can kind of base it off of 1 or 2 more proteins. Other than, again, this is a great source of protein. It says 64 grams of protein in the entire thing. Like this whole meal, if I split it in 4, is gonna have at least 20 grams of protein for each meal. It's great, you can still get the protein, but it's a very simple way to get it. And in saying all that too, because I did just go grocery shopping, in saying that it's easier, I'm also starting to see, which is, I don't want to say cool, it's not cool, but as a vegan who's been grocery shopping for years, I've been avoiding things forever. I avoid whole aisles of the grocery store forever. So it's never been appealing to me. Even trying to buy it today, I was like, and again, going to the butcher is a little easier because the guy will talk me through it, but going to the grocery store today and I'm looking around, like, they have all of this like fresh butchered meat, whatever, but then they also have all of this already cooked meats, and then they have like whole rotisserie chickens, and they have Subway, you know, all these things that are so much more convenient than going home and cooking this raw meat, or going, or you know what I mean, having to think about the dilemma of how we're getting this meat, going to Chick-fil-A instead of, you know, trying to figure out how to make chicken at home, because it's been 8 years and I don't really remember how. I just know it doesn't need to be pink. But yeah, so I'm starting to see those everyday struggles that I know a lot of people that are trying to work on their nutrition struggle with, where it's like, what is actually healthy for me? And just because this is easy, like, and it's still kind of giving me that same, I guess, yield, because you can get the chicken breast, or you can get the chicken breast from the rotisserie chicken. Like, one is still going to be better than the other based on how it's prepared. So again, fun journey, and I commend every single one of you on your nutrition journey right now, because I always thought that it was, quote, easy, not for everybody. I always knew that. There's not a one size fits all, but I always thought it was easy for me to avoid these things because all of it had animal byproducts in it, and I didn't want any of that. I'm still very much dairy free, beyond, like, I think I grabbed a thing of Parmesan cheese today, Oh, and I might try Greek yogurt. I've been doing almond yogurt for a while. I might try Greek yogurt. Some people say you can use it to replace sour cream, which is something I have replaced with the vegan sour cream, but the vegan sour cream has a lot of shit in it, so I'd rather find something that has a little less. And if it's organic, like I said, I'm getting cheeses and dairies. Again, don't justify yourself to people and your diet. I think that makes it a lot easier for you to get comfortable with your diet and feel comfortable and vulnerable with these kind of like conversations with yourself at the grocery store, where you're walking around and you're like, ooh, I don't know, like even, okay, I went to go get these groceries and I saw, I wanted to make this. I knew I wanted to make this. It's been a while since I've had tacos and quesadillas and stuff, because I tried to cut all that out. But this seemed like a very basic, and you saw it's literally just vegetables and tofu and seasoning. It's a very basic recipe that I can add quinoa to and make a bowl. I can add salad to and make it like a wrap or whatever. Very simple meal. So I was like, all right, I'll just get some tofu, because I didn't want to do meat with it. I'm still kind of not weird about it. I'm just having a hard time figuring out how to cook it all. So we're getting there. Growth. But when I was looking through all the tofu, I was like, oh, you know, it's a lot of soy. It's soybean. It's soybean and water. It's just like how this is fava beans. But I was trying to find something that maybe would feel better in my stomach, and it looks like is actually like a different texture, so it might taste the way I'm hoping it'll taste and be like a little chewier. But yeah, just wanted to kind of share my experience and my nutrition journey too, because I feel like a lot of you, especially my clients, see me as somebody who's just like, oh, like, just do this, this, and this, and hey, do this, this, and this, or hey, this looks like this, and try this. Where I also want to let you know that, like, I have these struggles every day too. I don't know everything, and I don't want to say make mistakes, because being vegan, I have been able to I've gained weight as a vegan, I've maintained muscle as a vegan, I was having some good complexion and some, like, okay, emotions and things for a while, up until, you know, another thing that factors into that is, I removed a lot of, I call it poison, but it's just like birth control. But I removed a lot of like excessive supplements, so birth control. I do still do like a pretty whole foody protein powder. I'm looking into maybe trying creatine, but I really want to play around with my macros, making sure I get them on point first before I start adding more stuff. But again, pulling that excessive supplement definitely you know, messes with your whole body chemistry. That being said, I just had a lot of things to figure out about my body, my emotions, and diet can help a lot with that. Nutrition can help a lot with that. And as much as I love animals and care about saving animals is literally my thing. Like, as much as I love that and I am so passionate about that, I also like share that same feeling for myself and my health goals and what I want to feel and look and be as a person, and what represent for people to even look up to in terms of like clients, coaching, etc. And I want to be healthy, and I don't want to push a narrative, which I've never done. I've never pushed anybody to be vegan, but I don't want to portray myself as this person who only eats plant-based, or this person who doesn't eat certain things, knowing like a balanced diet is okay. Especially for my own health. I don't need to like be at any higher moral ground at the expense of my health. Not that that's all that is, but like, it's okay. Everything's okay. You don't have to explain yourself. Everything's okay. But yeah, again, I just wanted to bring that up while we were cooking a vegan meal. Just because, you know, everybody struggles. I am a nutrition coach and I struggle. Even my lady doctor said, what would you tell your client? And like, how hard is that to ask myself? You know, I paid an $85 copay for that. But now I know. I was here all along, baby. That discipline. Well, really, it's like for me, it was like a mental block of like, oh, I don't want to eat meat. I don't want to be a monster. None of y'all are monsters. I'm just trying to explain to you the emotional trauma that I was going through to feed myself to be healthy. Like, that's not even a healthy, like, dialogue to have in your head. That like, oh, I mean, again, there's tons of different disorders out there. And in terms of like your relationship with food and how different that can be, what that can look like in terms of like overeating, in terms of purging the food, in terms of not eating the food at all. And I don't think that, I don't want to sit here and be like, diets are just like that, because they're not. But in some sense, like, you are restricting yourself, and you don't need to. You don't need to do that. I mean, yeah, maybe don't eat the poison. Maybe don't have McDonald's. But that doesn't mean necessarily that anybody who eats McDonald's is a fucking monster or fatty or has some kind of disease that makes them overeat. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of going on a tangent now because we're cooking and chatting at the same time. And it looks really freaking good. I'm actually gonna toss this around. It's been about 7 minutes. It's supposed to be in the oven for 15 minutes. So it's about halfway through. I'm gonna flip through it all. Yeah, one way I'm trying to add meat into my diet, I guess we'll say. My boyfriend really likes cooking it, so anytime he wants to come over and cook it, that's kind of been the deal. But I'm meal prepping 1 meal a week. That's based off of animal-based protein, and then I'm doing a plant-based protein. So this is gonna be my plant-based protein meal prep, and then this weekend, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna cook. I have no idea. I'm still trying to decide on what's the best option would be for me cooking the first time. Everyone keeps telling me bacon. I've never really had a craving for bacon. I've never found a good replacement for bacon, but it's never been something that, like, if I didn't have, I was missing. Bacon, and what's the other one they always tell me? I want salmon, but yeah. Also, I'm going home in the summer to visit some of my family and friends, and I'm debating, I don't know, some of them are on here, so they might see this, but I'm debating on just going to their house and eating meat and not saying a word and just kind of seeing their reaction, because it's been 8 years since they've seen me eat meat, and it's been 8 years of them, again, being amazing. I appreciate them. If you're watching, I appreciate you. But I just thought it'd be funny to just, like, show up and just eat meat in front of the people who, some of them mocked me for several years for being vegan, but I'm not saying that that's okay either, but I mean, you know, family is tough love and whatever. But yeah. I'm just cooking up these tortillas while we wait for this, because I like them crunchy. These are just white corn tortillas. They're pretty cheap. This whole meal literally cost, and look, I still have like these huge peppers left. My peppers were like, I think it was like $3 for the 4 of them. The onion I already had. The limes I already had. Seasoning I already had. The olive oil I already had. And the tortillas I already had. So like, this was $3. Oh, sorry, the tofu. The tofu was on sale actually for $8. Or $4. $4 because it was two. Two for $4. Or 2 for $8. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to go get a muffin tin so I can make those egg muffins. So you know, I think I made the carrot balls last time, but a lot of people like those protein balls for like a quick breakfast snack, which like I've been doing, like I was saying, the hard-boiled eggs, which I don't know if they're sitting, but it could be, I don't know if it's that or, again, all the other things I've been mixing around. So I've been liking these protein balls. They're good, but they're also like very sweet, and I'm just not always like, again, I'm trying to curb that appetite. It's working pretty well, so I'm not always down for something sweet. Like I have protein cookies and chocolate and bullshit. It's all vegan, all healthy, all in here. It's been here forever. I don't ever eat it. So I think that egg bites would be a really good alternative for that as like a quick breakfast on the go. Maybe I'll do, I don't know, is chicken sausage good? Maybe I'll do like a breakfast chicken sausage with it. Like cut it up. I don't know, y'all. I'm learning. Now I have to go back to like figuring out, not back to basics because like it's still the same concept, but figuring out now what like all these foods together yield in terms of macros and how I can make it a part of my diet so I can gain muscle but still, well actually I want to maintain muscle and burn fat right now, but then we're just gonna bulk and it's gonna be Great. Or maybe I should both first and then cut. I don't know. I'm literally still just like playing around with all the different meats. Because to be honest, in comparison with how much I was eating as a vegan, I'm already eating more. And I wasn't eating, I don't know if I was eating enough. I think that was my biggest issue in terms of macros, was that I wasn't eating enough. Because I was eating 5 meals a day. It just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. Because I was also doing very whole foods, which is fine. This whole meal is almost whole foods except for the soy. Or not the soy, sorry, the tofu. And these homies, which you could make with whole foods. It just wasn't enough. That, beans, and again, the processed meats, the fake meats and stuff that I was eating, which were delicious. I enjoyed them thoroughly. But again, these are processed things that were not doing good things for my hormones in my belly. I'm about to pop this out of the oven here too in a minute. Show you. I don't know if I'll be able to eat it because it's gonna be hot as hell. Looks really good though. I'll show y'all. In 47 seconds. Hell yeah. I also have to show you this. Like I said, I don't have a lot of kitchen tools. I don't know if you've seen any of my Cook Like a Heroes that are at Coach Benna's house. Like I said, I don't have a lot of cooking tools, but I do have what's important. You saw my tofu press, I know. Impressive. But I also have this taco holder. So cute, so festive. Taco holder, right? Nice. And a tortilla container. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this out of the oven. Oh, I'm gonna need 2. That looks good. I want the veggies to be real soft. I want to try this. You can hear it sizzling. Can you hear it? It's a fajita sizzler right there, baby. Look at that tofu. It's steaming. I really want to try it before I send y'all off on your day. That's a really good texture for tofu. That's actually really good. That's gonna taste really good in a taco. Hell yeah. I almost just dropped it. Got it. Okay, that's amazing. I'm gonna let that cool down because that's hot as hell. And then I'm gonna make some tacos. I'll post some pictures and show y'all. But that's it for today's Cooking with Coach Kels. That took like 15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of prep and $3 out of my pocket. So hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for listening to me rant. I hope that any or all of you can relate. And again, I hope you're really proud of yourself and your nutrition journey because it's hard out here and I get it. But I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.